Absolutely. That's a very good point. And another point I want to say that a lot of people don't really link to hair loss or how their hair is affected when it comes to growth is vitamin D deficiency. Y'all, this deficiency is so real. When you have low vitamin D levels, it directly impacts how your hair grows, because what happens is when your vitamin D levels are low, it actually shortens the anagen phase, which is the growth phase, the phase in when your follicles and your strands are actively growing from your scalp, and it lengthens the telogen phase, which is the resting phase. And so when your hair is resting and it's not growing anymore, this is what vitamin D deficiency does for your hair. And so this is why it's so important to make sure you're up to date on your vitamin D levels. If you've noticed like a lot of shedding that's unexplainable or a lot of thinning, then it's highly probable that it could be linked to your vitamin D levels. And a lot of people are deficient and they have no idea about it. And this is especially prevalent in like communities with high levels of melanin, okay, black and brown folks, because we have a hard time absorbing the vitamin D levels from the sun, which is natural. And so sometimes we have to supplement. And so you want to get your levels checked just so that you can be aware and know what level, like what your baseline is. And if you are low, start supplementing. You may have to take 25,000 or 50,000 IUs a day just to get your levels to where they need to be. But I'm telling you, sometimes course correcting is not always topical. Sometimes you have to go to the root cause. And if it's something as simple as a vitamin D deficiency, that can be reversed, because you don't want it to go on too long, because it's also been linked to alopecia areata, which is like a female and male pattern baldness. And you just want to nip it in the bud, okay? And that's just something that you can absolutely take control over by just supplementing and getting it, back on track, and eating, just diet plays a role too. And I have other videos on that, but you just want to make sure that your vitamin D levels are where they need to be, because it directly impacts your hair growth cycle.